Road position, sheriff position. Before anyone wishes to speak on the agenda item, please sign up on Mrs. Speaker card. Do we have a presentation for Mrs. Secretary President report. Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just going to give a very brief report. Can you hear me? Before we do so, Kent just got back from Chicago. I want to give us an update on Charlotte.
Thank you, Mr. President. He had some major surgery on his stomach, I think it was his stomach also, and it just so happens he was in the right place at the right time, and nurses information, they had that he had the best mama doctor in all of Chicago. I got there the next day, and he was sitting up, they walked with a recovery rate, and so he's doing fine. There's going to be a long slow recovery with his back. We're talking about Saturday, but probably first part next week. So he had a bad situation, and that turned out in a good place that was able to take care of.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers.
We continue to keep Charlotte and the family in prayers as we will this busy driving home and every time before. Another thing I'm going to report on is we've been doing a lot of work for the last few days on our website, trying to improve it. All the departments are going through it. We're going to rearrange it a little bit. We have some ideas on it for the council section. We need to get with Betty over our public information office. We want it to be obviously user-friendly, but we want it to be a valuable tool for the people who use it, internet, web, get information. So we would take a few minutes in the next week or so and look at the site and have ideas. Please share that with Betty or Randy Osborne, the information systems office. The only other thing I'm going to say tonight is that 2 weeks from tonight you'll be given a very thorough report by URS, our program manager, on the many things they have been working on. I'm asking Ricky to get his mic return on. We can, some of the areas we can't go into details, some litigation involved. I think it's time for him to really give an update on several of these things and some other areas. We finish the review of public works. I'll finish reading it probably tomorrow night. That review and study. We will now start looking at planning and development. And the opportunities we have to improve, create more cost effectiveness, create better service for our citizens. If you ever want a copy of that report that we did on public works, let Suzanne know or Christian know, and we'll get you a copy of that to go through and look at. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Got enough on the agenda, thank you. Reed, you got Chris from South, new consultant, deputy director, deal with.
This is some really old business. It took a long time to get it to you, the contract itself, because it was legal for a long time. The first one actually is two contracts. One is our contract with President Avenue for engineering on Highway 61173, I-10 Highway Street. The second one is an agreement with DOT, a partnership endeavor agreement with DOT. The reason for this is the fact they're working on this. President Avenue went ahead and is probably around 8% complete with that project. The reason that this comes to is because the attorney did say because of the state highway, he felt that we needed to look at a endeavor agreement with DOT before he would authorize the Parish President or the council to set the contract with the South because of the issue of spending Parish money on the state highway. So we had a long time to negotiate, go back and forth with DOT. We finally got the DOT agreement, and the attorney recommended we accept the both of them now. So we really have formality to the authorization now for everybody to sign.
second by Ms. Fontaine, to accept the contract for, 6.173, project. Any questions? Any opposition? Having none, motion passes. Let me take the other one in a second. Before the end of the week. One thing on separate.
Motion.
Second.
Go ahead and government agreement with DOTD.
Motion by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Thomas. Any questions? Any opposition? Having none, motion passes.
Thank you. Second contract, again, you accepted or authorized us to use USA on the sidewalk project.
We'll move along to number 9. GSA, Inc., project, Highway 44 and Highway 1 sidewalk improvement, transportation enhancement program. Mr. Root.
Yes, sir, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This contract, again, you had authorized us to use USA on the enhancement project, a grant from the DOTD. This is the actual contract, it went through legal, and we recommend acceptance of the contract and also relate to the
Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Schiffner. Any questions? Mr. Thomas.
Thompson. LA 44, where did the project started?
This particular project started at US 61, north of the Dallas, and proceeded all the way to Highway 621. It's actually the 4-lane section of 44 going north.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes, if we looked at the LA 1 sidewalk smoke.
Yes, sir, again, this is included in this engineering contract is for USA to, in addition to the 44 project, to review and see what is needed in the LA 1 smoking area. So again, this is like a contract for both projects. The priority is the Highway 44, and then whatever we can get that's left over from the Highway 44 project is going to be put with probably some additional money into the LA 1 project. So that's the way I think transportation is recommended.
Make sure if you want.
Yes, sir. Again, it's not GSA.
Any further questions? Any opposition to the motion? Having none, motion passes. Number 10, results of lighting district number 8 election. Council Bill Jones. Just deal with that. Yeah. I do have a couple of people that want to speak on it. Let's just speak first here.
Let's do this first. Before we do that.
Mr. Thomas Beasley.
President Hughes, Chairman Sadler, and members of the council, I'm Tanya Beasley from Prairieville. I come before you to say that I support Councilman Hohenstedt's proposal to have another vote on the tax to create a new line of business. I'm taking that position because, although it wasn't my intent, the postcard bearing my name that was sent prior to the vote on the matter did not create an entirely accurate impression. I do continue to oppose the tax at this time. With all due respect, I do not think a sufficiently detailed plan existed to allow an informed voting decision. I do not think that there is enough information to make a judgment as to whether or not the one-mil tax would do. My current belief is that it would. I'm still concerned over the size of some of the fund balances in existing lighting districts and would not want to see such a situation characterized in New England. However, as I have publicly stated, the statement on the postcard that interest generated by lighting district funds is transferred to the general fund is not accurate. With that in mind, and considering the public exchanges subsequent to the election, I think it's fair that voters have another chance to express their will on the matter. As of now, I intend to maintain my opposition, but I think another vote would be appropriate. And I trust my encouraged by reported plans to roll back villages in other districts and hope that such practices will continue. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Ms. Catherine Dodd.
Good evening, council members. Catherine Dodd. On Saturday, July 16th, the people at Ascension were given a choice of whether or not they wanted to fund a newly created light district. 55% of the people said no, and the proposition failed. Politicians are asking, why is this the first lighting district tax to fail in 35 years? The people are asking, why does the government need more and more money? And look at the 7 existing lighting districts is in order. This should have been done prior to you approving it. The income in these funds include property taxes, revenue sharing from the state, and interest earned from any money left over after expenditures at the end of the year. The expenditures include an administrative fee of 4%, the cost of utilities to maintain the poles and the light, and contributions to the parish retirement system. The cumulative fund balance of these 7 districts is almost $700,000. The largest fund balance is in District 6. It was close to $350,000 in October of 2004. Expenditures were $157,000, and the revenues were $177,000. The fund balance will continue to increase by the end of 2005. This failed lighting tax did not go to the committee. It was originally 1 mil, and when it appeared on the ballot, it was 2 mil. Originally, only major highways were going to be lighted. Then we added major roads. And pretty soon on the ballot, we got alleyways, too. Where the fund balances are excessive and above yearly expenditures, taxes should be rolled back. Rolling back taxes will not even be discussed at this point, as citizens have not brought these large fund balances to the public's attention. This would have generated $38,000 a year for 10 years. There's no public record on file of how many lights are replaced and where they're located. Energy, when I called them, said they did not know how many lights there were. They didn't know how many poles needed to be placed or transformers. There was no way they could calculate the cost of this proposed tax. Voters were given a choice. They're not willing to continue to give local government a $38,000 check to pad the interest-bearing accounts of local government for another 10 years. This is still America, where citizens have the freedom to publicly comment on issues related to the government. People can make better decisions about where to use and invest their resources than politicians and bureaucrats. This tax failed because more voters went to the polls who were against the tax than were for it. The proposition failed, and we're given the opportunity for the people, not the politicians, at the final word. Thank you.
These are the results of the light district election July 16th. What we were going to like and how we vote. Council, I asked the lawyers to draw this up, and that's what the lawyers did. They could make it just like some other lighting districts. They passed previously to Mr. Parish. At the time I introduced this lighting district, I said on that the introduction, and we're still looking at it, trying to determine the cost. And I said it's going to be either 1 or 2 bills, but I don't know at this point, so I'm not going to say. Again, the lawyers put this together. All the previous other lighting districts have been passed by Ascension Parish government, and the actual police jury has been passed and people approved. All the other lighting districts all started out collecting 5 plus property tax. One, I think it's District 2, was rolled back to 5 mills 1 year, a few years back, 7 years back. As Ms. Cottrell said, as I stated in some of my correspondence, I think another district is usually rolled back this fall. It's going to be recommended to the Parish Finance Department that we roll it back. And I'm sure the council will take appropriate action. Again, these are the results, 328, 407 minutes. Now, I'm bringing this out tonight because I want the public to fully understand why maybe they voted like they did. Leading up to this election, everything was positive in the district, all the feedback I was getting, it seemed like a good idea, this is an opportunity to advance public safety, and traveling public, do travel on our roads tonight. And to some degree, it's going to help us with crime prevention as well. Once you get off the main road, you get on some of the parish roads, you see a lot of security lights that people are. And the reason you see that is that with all the new people moving in, guess what? There's also our crime. People's cars being broken into the house and being burglarized. So people are paying for a security light out of their pocket, but there's an added sense of security and there's an added measure of crime. I just felt like it was important to talk about the campaign that was waged against the 2-bill property tax. Again, this is a letter from Mrs. Stacy Larmood. Can you blow it up into that as big as you can go with it? Okay. All right. Basically, Mrs. Larmood signed this letter. It appeared in the Advocate on the Thursday, July 14th, I believe it was, right before the vote. She talks about the line district surpluses. And there are some fund balances in those accounts. All those other 7 line districts that do have a fund balance in them, all of that tax is dedicated. It is paid by the voters in those districts. Okay? Doug Hillenbeck, as councilman in Prairieville, can't go down and raid those accounts and bring it to Prairieville and put up lights for people and light up roads to improve safety and crime. So, Mr. President, with your permission, may I ask Amanda if she's prepared to make a kind of general statement about the lighting district, the fund balances, the funds. She's sitting behind you. Amanda, would you come to the mic and just make a few statements and talk on that issue of the lighting district fund balance? It's my understanding that you met with Ms. Deasy in advance. You gave her all this information. Ms. Deasy also called me. I gave her certain information. I thought all this had been worked out. So if you come make a few statements. This is for the benefit of the public who are watching this.
Each of the fund balances in the parish of 7 lighting districts are dedicated to respective districts and shall not be used by another road lighting district or any other fund of the parish, as mandated by the vote of the people residing in each respective road lighting district. Money is only used in those lighting districts. So what Mr. Killisack is saying is correct.
I understand some of those districts that do have rather large district projects down the road, but I think over time you won't see that large fund balance. It's kind of a work in progress. It's fluctuating. So I like her. Ms. Larmood, she stated in her letter that she brought out the fact about $700,000. She also brought out the fact about all the lights and roads are already lighted in Prairieville. Well, no, they're not. You do have lights in most of the subdivisions, but on the state highway and on the parish road, you have all this traffic now. And let's face it, it's 4 roads. They're not lit. So the letter was not factual. And fortunately, I was able to do a response letter, get it into the Advocate, and they did print it. And I think I addressed every issue with the form of the letter. She did have one item in there that was true. According to the assessor's office, the proposed tax rate is around $38,000 per year. That's true. I announced in the very beginning that a 2-mil property tax is going to raise $38,000. Never backed up from that one bit. I'll show you why in a few minutes. Okay, bring the next slide. Now this is another last-minute mail out that reached the people from Ms. Deasy. I appreciate her comment tonight, but guess what? I think this would have passed had this last-minute campaign not been waged against the light tax. Next slide. All right. No specific plan exists in parish public records. Out of my pocket. showed all of you this at various times. This is the light district plan. It's just a little simple plan, but it outlines the map, the district. I had these in all the grocery stores in Prairieville in the district. The retail outlets, barber shops and beauty shops, that's where the politics is talking. Beauty shops and barber shops. Now, I'll tell you what, the response was really good leading up to it. And I also had approval from a parish government employee that this little plan that I put together was approved by the Assistant District Attorney, Mr. Bowden. Where's Ricky Bowden? Yeah, you approved it, you looked at it, and it was approved to be put on the parish website. Guess what? I thought it was put on the website, so I made an error when I said it was on the website. It wasn't. Guess what? I think after the discussion we had today, it's going to get on the website. We're going to talk about it. But I had on here that we're going to pass a 2 mil property tax. I had it listed by phases that what we were going to do, how we were going to light the roads, basically how we were going to take care of this particular project. Okay. No specific plan exists, but it does exist. Okay. Tax will generate $38,000 per year for 10 years. That's correct. 150 lights can be placed with existing poles that $18,000 a year. I disagree with it. Now, I know who this guy Bill talked to at Energy, Marlene. Guess what? I didn't talk to Marlene. I talked to Mr. Kurt Keys. And I've got a different number. I'm going to show you the number in a minute. There's almost 700,000 surplus in the fund balance in them, but it's not surplus money. And it really is irrelevant because it's dedicated tax money paid by those people that live in those lighting districts. Doug Hillenbeck can't go down and get that money out. Don Randall can't do it. Warren Thomas can't do it. It belongs to the people in those lighting districts. The surplus is invested in interest-based general fund. No, it's not. Interest is earned and it goes back to the lighting district accounts. The tax was proposed when there was $1 million undesignated funds in the budget. Yeah, you're right. But guess what? It's councilman for the area. I knew that $1 million transfer was probably going to take place for Lamar Dixon. Okay. I don't go back tax. The government does not need more of our money. Well, that's a pretty strong statement, Mr. Hughes. According to the study that we've done, Parish is what, $700 million behind on infrastructure needs. This is kind of far-fetched. Vote no. Had I got that postcard, which I didn't get one, but I had lots of people in my district that give it, but had I gotten it and had not known better, I'd have voted against it. But I'll give you credit, Tony. It was a very effective postcard. It wasn't factual, but it was effective. Okay? Next slide. Again, this is what was placed in all the retail outlets, Galvez Library. In fact, I have a big map when you walk in the door of the lighting district. These are brochures. I spent $300 out of my pocket trying to inform people. Had signs out because I didn't want to be accused of trying to slip something through. Had it on the ballot along with the other 2 public safety issues, the fire department issues. So with all this is public safety, we need to do this together. We can move forward and be aggressive about helping people first. Next slide. Again, there's your map. Next slide. Now this one's going to get a little hard to read. I've given it to the newspaper. To summarize this is a cost estimate from to 3 state highways in the district. Jefferson Highway, Highway 73, Highway 42 from Airline Highway to Muddy Creek, and Highway 44 from 42 south down to Rustling Oak. In fact, it doesn't extend all the way to Abbey James, which I'm going to like that portion too. And the reason it's not over here is Jeffco has that cost. Okay? To summarize it, on Jefferson Highway alone, the installation cost to install the lights we need is $5,083. The monthly energy and maintenance cost is $544 a month once you get those lights in, plus a fuel adjustment. Couldn't give me a fuel adjustment because guess what? It fluctuates. Airline Highway 42 to Muddy Creek. I should say, let me say that again.
Highway 42 from airline to Cleveland, the installation cost of the lights, poles, wiring, what have you, transformer, $5,100. Highway 44 from Highway 42, the cost of installation, $2,445. And the monthly energy maintenance cost on that particular stretch of road is $277 a month. And on back to Highway 42 is $844 a month. To summarize it, just on those three highways alone, those state roads, just those three, we still got Highway 930, which has virtually no poles, no transformers, no anything. We've got Highway 929, or parts of it. Neither of those are in this. And the reason they're not in it, the total cost of installation for those three highways is $12,628. The first year energy and maintenance cost $19,989. You total the installation cost and the O&E, what they call O&E, is operational electricity, without the fuel adjustment, we spent $32,617.60. Plus, we got to pay that fuel adjustment. Guess what? The energy rep told me that fuel adjustment is just about going to eat up the remaining amount of the $38,000 per year. Okay? So I don't think we're asking for too much or overtaxing people with a 2 mil property tax that's going to cost the average homeowner in the district 75 cents a month. Not, I don't think it's too much to ask when we talk about public safety, people's lives, right? Starting with year 2, we're going to put up some more lights. We're going to have more monthly costs. In my mind, it's going to take about 3 or 4 years to get this project done. And at the end of the 3 or 4 years, we're going to have up enough lights to light up the district, make it safe to travel at night, help the crime prevention. But guess what? I believe when you add all the monthly costs up, we're going to wind up spending $38,000 a year or thereabouts. Bottom line, I just feel like the service to the people was done because the information was given freely by our finance department. I know Ms. Beasley came and met with you, and she called me. And, tried to answer the questions as best I could. But I feel like the last minute letters to them and the postcard mail out was really the service to the people. Talked to enough people in the district since the election and said, Doug, I'm going to vote for it. So I think that last minute postcard. Well, then we got all kind of money down there, we can go online districts. I wasn't going to vote for that. So again, I commend you. I mean, you and whoever helped put it together, y'all did a good job there. You know, it was untrue, it was unfact. And during this process of passing this ordinance, taking it before the people, guess what? We had public hearings along the way. I would invite anyone in the future to come speak at a public hearing and ask those questions. If you've got a concern, come ahead. I'll do my best to get you an answer. Me and I think the rest of the council do the same. But again, instead of a public hearing and asking the question beforehand, what we have is a last minute mail out, a tactic that worked, and guess what? The people were deceived. I know I had people in the district who were going to vote against the lighting district, and that's okay. I understand voting against the lighting district. What I don't understand is mailing out false information and misleading people to deceive. Because I think that was the difference in the election. Now the lighting affects us all. I think I had 3 calls my first year as a councilman from senior citizens stating how difficult it was for them at night buying the road turns to get home. And let's face it, we had a teenager killed on 42. I'll admit he should have been on 42 with a skateboard. The fact of the matter was, he wasn't. The driver hit him and said, I just didn't see him. By the time I saw him, I was able to dodge one and hit about him up. That's one life we've already lost. I don't want to see us lose anymore. It's a dangerous situation. You could say, well, maybe the elderly should be out there driving tonight. well, let's face it, emergencies come up and everything else. People have to run to the drugstore, the hospital. But it's really dangerous when you think about it, but therefore outside, they're out there trying to travel these roads, and items are really terrible roads. They're not wide enough, a lot of them don't have shoulders. So, next slide, man. Yeah, there's a recap again on the cost. Just those 3 highways, $32,670.60, plus the fuel adjustment. Once you add in the fuel adjustment, guess what? We're pretty close to eating up that 38,000. We've got to work with that first year. I'll just close with that. Darkness prevailed for now. I plan to bring this back to the vote. I will do a better job next time as council. When a little last minute mail out hits the people, we got to verify. Progression and moving carrying forward. And they're going to get my mail out with the facts and the truth. Thank you.
Committee reports, utility committee.
Did that guy say something that
Mr. President.
just so the public can know, the council already knows that, so people understand our parish. We move into our second budget year, we're looking at all dedicated funds, we have been for months now, as part of the master planning process. Each department director has been asked, all the boards that fit under the fire, library, council on aging, mental health, whatever it is, to sit down and talk with these people and to truly ascertain. And if you notice in the paper after the 16th election, we saw some parishes that took some money from a district that maybe it was light, and they redirected it to roads. We saw some parishes vote to take some library funds and redirect it to sewer, because they analyzed the needs of the parish, had a sensible discussion on those needs, not a political or emotional discussion, but really talking about, because many taxes that were passed many, many years ago, and the parish has changed significantly since then. And so it's important that all of us remind ourselves of that. If you go back and look at the drainage plan, phase 1 and 80, phase 2 and 81, and phase 3 and 82, you see in there that that plan was going to be completed in 1990. And the thought was that the half-cent sales tax would be eliminated. Obviously, that hasn't all been done. We have to look at all that, because it changes dynamics. And so I want to make sure we all understand that. We don't try to make a political issue out of these things. And that is being done. When we give you the budget in October, there'll be in there recommendations for these different areas to consider. But it will have been discussed with these boards, with these directors, to truly analyze surpluses and needs. It may be that some areas don't have what they need, they're lacking. Maybe some areas have more than they need, and we may want to ask them to let the people vote to redirect some of that to areas where we can do more. So that whole process is taking place as part of the budget process. And we thought since this issue was kind of hot right now, let everybody in our parish understand that, so we can be part of that process. Thank you.
President, I understand where you're coming from, but lighting district number 6, we appreciate it, no touching.
You're going to need a flash on all this.
That's it, Mr. President.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go in District 7.
Okay, I will.
Let's move on, utility committee report, Mr. Top.
I don't have any report on meeting schedule for Tuesday.
Vice Chairman of the Personnel Committee. Do we have anything?
Yes, I just wanted to let everybody know that we still need 5 applicants for the Planning and Zoning Commission. That deadline ends August 23rd. We need 2 tourist commissioners. August 10th is the deadline for that. We have 9 applicants for the Children and Youth Service. That's the committee that Judge Bear is putting together. We need the minimum of 11 and up to 25. So we still need more applicants in that area. I want to let you know that the meeting we will interview 9 applicants for the Children and Youth Service. We will interview 4 applicants for the Industrial Development Board Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the Parish President's office. And that's Tuesday at 5 p.m. on that. And that's concludes the report, Mr. Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Recreation Committee, Tom.
Yeah, of course, Ms. Cheryl, those guys,
Yes. And they only going into the German, right? Is that correct? The applications and all the papers? Okay, thank you.
Tom, recreation report.
yes, I do have something here. Ascension Parish Recreation up there on the 4th, 2005. I have a short message for Ms. Beck. She wrote us up in here. I'm going to read it. It's the River Region Art Association Summer Art Instruction Program is in full swing again this year with the class being offered at all of the parish facilities, including the new Jewel in Crown, which is the Godmore Community Center, which is in the Thompson District, located on Highway 7th Street in Fairfield. Mr. Donald Brewer, liaison for the association with the Parish Ascension Farm Recreation, that the organization intends to institute the program year-round. Mrs. Brewer feels as though the recreation department that art is for all seasons. For a complete list of River Region Art Association upcoming events, you may inquire at 675-6485. And Bobby Blanchard, special Tuesday program, has finished another successful year, running without a hitch due to the Blanchard commitment to the program. The average attendance of approximately 200 participants reinforced the worthwhile nature of these programs in the parish handicap rescue. We of the parish of Ascension thank you this bunch for the continued dedication. Thank you, and that's all.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Ms. Butler.
I just wanted to announce to the public that the regular scheduled meeting for the transportation, which is normally Tuesday at 7 p.m. at DPW, has been changed to Wednesday at 5 p.m. at DPW. Thank you.
As well, we have introduction of ordinance, consider ordinance expanding the Ascension Parish litter control only to include signs wrongly placed in public rights of way.
I move to introduce the ordinance.
Moved by Mr. McConnell, second by Mr. Todd Lamb. Any questions? Any opposition? Have none, motion passed. Number 13 is an introduction of ordinance to consider the ordinance rezoning property located on the east side of Louisiana Highway 73, approximately 1,000 feet south of Seagrove Road, to amend the parish zoning map from medium intensity to mixed use, with track B of the Hazel Landry Clean, Joseph L. Clean concession for the Peace Apartments. That's for review, zoning review ID 129845. Motion is to, motion by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Parish. Any questions? Any opposition? Have none, motion passed. Motion by Mr. Jones, second to adjourn. Second by Mr. Scott Leonard. Any opposition?